Super Dave here with another exciting action figure, or this time really it's more like an accessory, but episode 45 of figures, playsets, and accessories that work well with Motu Classics or Masterverse. And we'll go ahead and throw in Chronicles in there this time because yes, oh yes, we have two. And one of them's an action figure, but one of them I'm going to put in more with the, I guess, accessory line. We'll look at the action figure first. From Marvel Legends, we have Marvel's Grizzly. And I did one of the Build-A-Figures of this a few years back, but this we get in the, full-fledged figure with some accessories, a head with a human face in it. I don't know if that's because he ate him and he's trying to get out. I don't know the story on this, but I'm interested in the head. And I think this time, unlike last time when we did the Build-A-Bear, we get an articulated jaw, but we'll see. And, but you can see, it looks like this is just some person, I guess, that can turn into a grizzly. Let's see what it says there. All right. So, evil grizzly. But yeah, another minion for Beastman to control in our Masterverse, or my Motu universe, I should say. We'll have to get away from, but look at those gold bars that come with that. We can use those accessories with some other things, like in my Marvel figures and my G.I. Joe figures, my G.I. Joe movie coming up, maybe, part 2. But you can see another good picture of him on there. Just a headshot over here on this side. Just a lot of legalese on the back, the barcode. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and look at our next thing we're going to review, and that is the big old Mythic Legion Bear, or as is listed on here, Bodvar. Bodvar. Been excited about this. Been seeing pictures already of this figure. Just look at that. Humongous bear. Look at this box. It's humongous. Have just a horse on the side. There's a write-up about this bear there. If you'd like to pause and read that, you certainly can. There's the back. Just take a look at there. That looks like Atlas riding him there. Yeah, just amazing. Really neat. I guess does that wrap around? Maybe I need to go ahead and show you. No, I think that's a separate. But yeah, that is an awesome looking sight right there. So I'm excited about breaking both of these bad boys open. You can just see what's on the bottom here. All right, let's go ahead and as the top, break open both of these. This is our accessory. I would say almost like a vehicle or a beast to ride, because he's even got a saddle. That's so cool. Over here in Eternia as we check them out. And here we are on Eternia, where we're getting ready to take a look at this Bodvar, or Bodvar, this Mythic Legion Bear, as well as Marvel Legends, Marvel's Grizzly. And they're both looking awesome. Let's first take a look at their accessories. And first of all, our bear comes with 2 head sculpts. This beautiful giant plane, just, browsing around, looking for fish in the water, in the river, just walking along through the woods kind of face with his mouth closed. And then here is our bear with full on attack. I'm going to eat you, angry bear, rising up in the air, standing up in attack to intimidate bear mouth, with even his nostrils flared, his ears back a little bit, his eyes all evil looking. He's ready. He comes with, of course, 4, well, technically 3 sets of paws. It's got those rear ones, but then on the front over here, I don't know what the difference is on these, unless they're the ones that are made more for him to rear up when he's standing. But you can see the top of it there on the right, and then the bottom there on the left. Even got those pads looking very realistic. like, you know, real bear's pads would be rough and crackly without hair there on the bottom, but different color. Yeah, pretty sure those would be for the front paws. And just show you also, and it is removable, but he has this saddle and that chain, all of that attaches. But yeah, really cool. Again, that is a removable saddle, so he can either be, you can either, you know, use this bear as a wild bear in your wooded area like I've got set up here, or you can have him as a steed, so to speak, a vehicle slash animal beast that one of your figures could ride. And we're going to be checking that out for my Masterverse figures, my Masters of the Universe Classics figures, as well as some of the barbarians in this review. And then we have our Grizzly, and I'm not really interested in this head sculpt, but of course he comes with this head sculpt. Apparently this is some kind of villain that turns into a bear, or I don't think he's got a bear costume on, but you could definitely pretend that here. And he comes with 2 sets of hands. He comes with these that are equipped, as you see, and then a little variation of them cupped a little bit here. There's the top of the paw, and then the bottom of the paw, which is also colored in, except for at the hinge. Wish they had colored in the hinge part as well. Kind of looks weird for that cut to be in that pad on the palm. But anyway, there he is, and there he is rocking the head that I was interested in. And we'll do a comparison of the Build-A-Figure bear that is his counterpart. But then he comes with a First Central Bank bag, because of course apparently, you know, they were robbing a bank and this guy was helping them. And then some gold bars. There's a stack of gold bars. It's kind of, you know, intermingled and scattered. And here's a more organized set of gold bars, and then you even get an individual gold bar. And just look how realistic and how well done these are. It's just really cool looking. I love these. Definitely will use these in my G.I. Joe stuff primarily. As far as my part, won't be using them in Masters of the Universe unless I put them in some kind of treasure chest. But I don't know, they didn't start really melting down gold bars like this until more modern day era. But anyway, that's all the accessories that they came with. And here's our more vintage collection He-Man that was in that 2-pack, but that is a Ramen Toys head. There is our Frank Frazetta Girls iconic collectible Conan, and there is a custom, what they call, you know, female He-Man, but I call her Femere. And then Kazar, and what was the name of the tiger? But anyway, there he is. And so they are here, as well as my Norseman with a different head sculpt. Kind of call him, I'm kind of making him my Grizzly Adams for right now. I love that head sculpt. That's a custom head that I got off eBay. But that's the Norseman body from Frazetta Girls. Everything else on this figure is from the Norseman, except for those little bags. That is one that I got off of one of the pouches there on his side, is from a Mythic Legion figure. But anyway, we're going to check these out. So let's now take a look at their articulation. All right, let's first bring our Grizzly on over here at this moment to look at his articulation. And he's going to be able to look up a really good amount there. And there was a little bit of assembly. You had to pop on the back piece so he'd fit in the box. That came separate, and you had to pop on this piece, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is the way he came out of the box. But even with all of that intact, popping that on there and getting his neck piece plugged into him here, he's still going to be able to look up a really good amount. He's going to be able to look down. Get that plugged in better. There you go. He's going to be able to look down a really good amount. He's going to get good head pivot. And of course be able to look side to side. And because of it's kind of that hunchback type system, with this peg coming out straight. Your head pivot is more you're looking side to side, and your head and your actual side to side is more your head pivot as far as turning, just rotating the bear's head. And it'll shift back and forward some as well. So that's all the way forward, and that's all the way back, which gives a little bit more height. And then also the jaw is articulated. Just take a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's outstanding. I love the teeth and the gums and the detail to the tongue and everything. Looking really good. I love that. Excellent, excellent. Just overall musculature and fur and shading. He's going to be able, oops, well, there you go with the Build-A-Bear type situation, because you're pretty much looking at the same figure, but here's you can see, except the color, we'll see that in comparisons, and the head's different, but here you can see he's able to strike a T-pose very well. He's going to be able to get full 360, even though it does pop up that piece on the back. That's all right. He has bicep swivel, single jointed elbows with a swivel also on the elbow, and of course horizontal hinge. I don't know why they gave us that weird hinge on here, but anyway, he's got a nice hinge. Look at those big black claws on that palm there. Same thing over here. Of course, moving those on out of the way, you can see that he's going to be able to crunch forward. Might be able to go a little bit further, just a little bit. He's going to be able to bend back a whole lot more. It's just going to give him that bodybuilder belly. Pop out belly look there. He will turn side to side and also be able to lean side to side. You get a full hula hoop, pretty good, decent amount there. No swivel there, but you're going to get plenty here. All right, you're going to be able to get, oops, there we go, Build-A-Bear. They pop off very easy. So yeah, this was definitely the same body mold, but not quite full splits. No drop down method. He'll be able to kick up out that much. No kickback, it hits there, obviously, by rotation. Single jointed knee. No rotation there though, but you don't need it. He's going to be able to get excellent rockers with a peg hole there. Go ahead and show you that. He'll get full tiptoes. Go up all the way. And as far as that, you're not going to be able to go back any further. But yeah, he's going to be able to do as much as a bear needs to do. I was even seeing on the packaging, I'm not sure if moving this makes a difference or not. Like you can even bring that out and kind of have him on his feet. Kind of have him on his feet a little bit. You can kind of do a little something like that. Yeah. Just not going to be able to look up any further before that pops off. But you can kind of see what's possible in that scenario. Love this head sculpt. Really nice. And of course, if you want to switch out the hands, the paws, you just pop those off and pop the other ones on. Not even worried about the other head. It does the same articulation, except it doesn't look down quite as well, but this is the one I was interested in. But I want to go ahead and look at this great big bear. We're going to look at that one next. Save the best for last, the hardest one anyway for last. His Articulation. Just look at this bear. He is a beautiful specimen, beautiful sight. I'm very impressed with him indeed. Just amazing to look at. Really nice detail. Really nice just all the way around. And we'll go ahead and start with his head. he's going to be able to look up. And all of these are individual little flaps, so that's good because it follows him, but he's going to be able to look up all the way.
I smell some honey. Looks like there might be some honey in that tree. Don't see any bees though.
As he looks side to side, about that much. You see there? And of course he'd be able to get some rotation. So very, very neat there on this guy. Very, very neat on this guy. Just really good. And the head articulation for the other head is going to be different. And of course I removed the saddle so you'll be able to see everything. But we're going to do that last. I want to go ahead and show you that the legs will go out a really good amount. Technically, they would go all the way around, but you don't really need them to. They go up. It's just so tight. I don't want to strain anything there. It'll go back as far as it needs to on the side there. And so, like I said, it'll go in and out there. Really good, really good. And even we'll do a little bit of a swivel there in that big ball joint too. There is, of course, a swivel at that first joint, kind of a knee joint there, and it'll bend to about right there and bend out all the way straight. There is a rotation. Let me hold this. There's a rotation up in here. As you see, there's a little break there. There's a rotation there, but no hinge there. The hinge is in the foot right here. Not up in here, but right here. It'll go forward about that much, go back pretty much all the way. Again, really nice looking claws. So you've got plenty of space to get whatever kind of posing, and of course this one will be doing the same thing. Then you're going to be able to get a bend at the diaphragm right here at the rib cage, about that far, which is pretty good. Watch it from the front. Bend that way, bend that way. Look at it from the back. See the ribs? It's bending. And of course you also be able to swivel it and also shift it up like so, then shift down. So you've got a really good all the way around diaphragm joint there, ball joint. Oop, his tail fell off. But yes, the tail, since that did that, there's a little ball joint up in there, a little dumbbell ball joint. Pop that tail back on, it'll come out about that far, go in all the way, and it'll go side to side, as you see. And tuck that tail in. His legs will go out about that far to spread. He'll go in that far. They'll move all the way up, so he'll be able to do a full stand. And he'll be able to stand up all the way, and you see how much bigger he is than that 1/12 scale. I mean, when you stand him up all the way, he's about the size of a 1/6 scale figure. Huge, kind of like their horses. I mean, you know, the horses are a little bit longer, I think, than this, but this is an unusually sized 1/12 scale bear. I mean, this is definitely a grizzly in terms, or a big, maybe even a big black bear in the sense of how big he is, but just humongous. Go on to these back legs. You can see that there's a knee joint, which will bend back about that far. Bend forward. There is a rotation at the knee joint, and I believe there was here too. Don't know if I mentioned that. So there was a knee joint up here at the front, but also swivels. Then again, you have a, let me hold the knee. This one may work better. You have a rotation at the ankle and a hinge that allows the foot to go down about that far. It's ratcheted and up all the way up. Really nice solid claws there. So excellent articulation for this big fella. I believe you're going to be able to get just about any pose that you would need to for a bear. Now let's look at the other head, because as you can see, this head is very different from this head. It's more designed to go downward like so, even though, because see, it comes with this big neck piece, and instead of all these being individual pieces like the other one, it's one big solid hook piece. And the head is not going to go up more than that. Matter of fact, I don't think it goes up or down at all. It's just going to rotate. Yeah. It's got the big ball joint. So what we're going to be doing is popping off this head here like so. Because see, this head, it moves slightly into that individual piece there. Then you have those other pieces, two single pieces that come off with it. And now we're going to be popping this one. That's going to be very hard to pop on because that's the new head, and it's, let me heat it up a little bit with the blow dryer here. Voila. There he is, standing tall. So you can see that when you pop that head on, and I had to heat up that inner ball joint quite a bit for it to pop on, as it was very tight. And of course the whole thing will turn, and then this will turn, but you're not going to get a whole lot of movement other than just turning side to side like so, and then side to side like so. He's not going to be able to look. See that ball joint is so big, and it's so tight to get on there. There we go. Yeah, it will shift once you get it on there good enough. I shifted it down some, and I shifted it up some. I'm going to shift it down all the way because he's going to need to look down to look at the guys. Shift that diaphragm forward as much as I can, and see, he's going to be able to stand up and really be intimidating. I've got these shoulders out as far as I can get them without showing the crack here, just so we can kind of give it a real intimidating look. And by the way, I did switch out the paws too, and the difference is these are for him to stand on all fours. You can see it's a complete foot all the way to the back of the heel, and this one cuts off right at the hinge so that you can rear up and kind of have a different look there when he's fighting, and also allows him to go full, like so he can claw and scratch. Just take a look at that. Isn't that amazing? Very cool. Very awesome. All right, so now let's do some measurements of this bear. Standing up, this bear is going to be the top of the ears. He's going to be 12 and a half. You're dead on, 12 and a half inches tall. Yeah, right at the 12 and a half inches, and that's to his head. Now to the top of his head, that's as tall as I can get him. At the top of his head, not the ears, it's basically 12 and 1/4 inches. This bear's wanting to fall over. There we go. Now let's see how long he is when he's not standing. So basically, let's say 12 and a half inches when he's standing up completely, which is just amazing. And he stands really well. Stands up really well. Just look at him from the side here. Adjust his feet just a little bit. There he is from the side. Very impressive. All right, so to measure him in while he's standing, and I've got him long ways there, turn him just a little bit so you can see his tail there. From nose to tail, he's going to be right at 11 inches. 11 inches long from nose to tail. Wow. So yeah, he's a big boy. Definitely a big boy. Get that snout up here. Yep, basically 11 inches is how long he is. But man, is he not beautiful. All right, now what we want to see, of course, is somebody ride him. Let's see how that works out. So let's go on over here and check out a barbarian and He-Man and different ones riding our big Bodvar. First, let's go ahead and put this saddle back on. And what you have to do to get that on, pop off the first part of his head here. Not these little pieces. So, whoop, and they're going to try to fall, of course, so that you can get the harness piece around here, like so. Around the bear's neck, like so. And kind of get that in place. But yeah, go ahead and get that piece, the leather piece around him. Let's see if I can do this without causing a catastrophe. And then pop this head back on here. Just gonna have to untuck this and kind of loop it back onto the piece that, yeah, go around his neck. There we go. I think I've got his head on. There we go. All right, and then once you have the saddle in place and it's very well molded to his body, you see a little place to put a weapon there. Then you go all the way around here to the bottom. Get this chain out of the way. Sometimes it wants to get everywhere. And then you see those little pegs there. You're going to peg them in to the bottom of that wrap, and it actually straps on pretty well. There you go. You need to shift it back just a little bit. There you go. And here's the, I guess you'd say, the stirrup where you would hold on. And you see there's some real chains that are holding this plastic that's made to look like leather. Now that's plastic, but that's metal, and then that's plastic. So there's a little metal hook attaching the plastic to the plastic. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And then of course this is a real metal chain. Really neat looking saddle. Love the colors, the blue, the red, the gray, the black, and their furs also, so that's neat. All right, now let's see if we can get someone to ride this big boy. All right, let's first start off with a Masters of the Universe Classics He-Man. And yeah, he's looking pretty dope up there on this bear. Only thing that kind of stands out, other than his pins, you know, the old style articulation showing off here. But the only thing that kind of shows off a little bit here on the realism is the plastic is so shiny. But there again, you know, maybe He-Man's real hot, the weather's real hot, and he's just glistening with sweat. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's definitely showing its age, this line here, but Classics is still one of the best looking figures around, and overall I think he does a pretty good job sitting on this bear. And see, I was able to hook his shield there on that little loop, He's sporting his sword there, and he's riding off into Eternia on this big bear friend now. So that's really cool. And there's Castle Grayskull in the background. Beautiful picture there. I think I'll snap one. But yeah, very cool. And here is our more vintage collection He-Man, and I think the classic one almost looked a little bit better on here. I don't know if it's because this guy's so big. I don't know. His loincloth is a little stiffer because it's got that flocking on it, and he doesn't want to bend very much, which the classic one didn't either. But I don't know, it just looks like he's not quite on the seat as well. But overall, it still looks good. That's the more Masters of the Universe vintage collection style buck that came in that 2-pack from the San Diego Comic-Con with He-Man and Skeletor. But that is a ramen toy head sculpt that they did. And here's my favorite He-Man. This is the Revolution He-Man. Technically, this is the Battle Armor He-Man from the Masterverse Revolution line, but he also came with a regular harness, as I have on his chest armor here. But here's the thing that's so cool. With his articulation and that soft loincloth, he's able to sit in the seat flush and perfect. His legs are able to bend perfect. He's able to hunch over just a little bit, and he looks very natural riding this bear, in my opinion. I think he fits best of all as far as the He-Man figures I've tried. Going from classics to vintage collection, now Masterverse. Unfortunately, I don't quite have my movie He-Man, Chronicles He-Man yet. I've ordered one, but it's not come in yet. Hopefully it'll be in before they hit the shelves. I really wanted to be able to review him like others have, but I missed Paul's Mart. So unless he gets some more in, I'm gonna have to wait, I guess. But anyway, that was disappointing. But would love to see how that He-Man looks on here too, because that Chronicles articulation is going to be epic. But I really love this look too. The only thing I would wish that they had done as far as this bear is on that chain, I wish they had put a little, like, maybe leather wrap. I may have to find something to do that myself, because it's very hard to get these hands, these plastic hands, to hold that real metal, very slippery chain. You have to keep working at it and just hope that it stays and doesn't slide off, because no matter which way you turn the hand, it seems like it wants to fall off. But yeah, that looks really good. I like that. And I left that classics shield up there. You could put like the metal shield that came with one of the He-Man there, of course. You could even do, you know, like one of these. Of course, that looks kind of techno for this bear. But anyway, you see what I mean. There's a lot of different shields we could use. And Conan looks pretty good on here. Here's the Frank Frazetta Norseman with a custom head, pulling the bear, or leading the bear, I guess, with the Frank Frazetta Conan up there. And yeah, he's sitting in the saddle pretty good. He just looks like he would like kind of lean too much forward. You know, where you have a horse, you have like head and mane up there to kind of hold on to and kind of have, you know, I don't know. It looked a little bit more natural, I thought, with He-Man, the Masterverse He-Man, but maybe not. It just may just be the way I have him posed. But yeah, looking pretty good with Conan on there. And here's Who-Man, the Savage Crucibles Who-Man, riding on this Mythic Legion horse, Bodvar. Not horse, bear, I mean. Now, Who-Man loves horses. That's probably why I said that. But yeah, he loves riding horses, but he wanted to check out this bear too. Looking pretty good. He fits great. His articulation matches really well for this. And now, let's do some comparisons. No, some comparisons. Just couldn't bear it. I had to get these out and claw my way back into the studio so that we could check these figures out. And here is our Marvel Legends Grizzly bear, Build-A-Figure bear, or Build-A-Bear, and our new Marvel's Legends Grizzly that came already complete, but it's the exact same body mold. The only difference is we did get a couple of extra hands and the head's different. Now, this head was always supposed to be open, and I broke it and put some tacky back there so that I could close it, open it for photos, and then I can just, you know, erase the blue or the white, depending on what tacky I'm using. But that's the way he looked. But with this one, you know, you could close the mouth or open the mouth. I like this bear head better than this bear head, and obviously, you know, duh, they're different colors. But other than that, they're the exact same articulation and everything, just different heads and different color. And here's our big Mythic Legions bear and our Marvel Grizzly bear next to our Battle Armor Revolution He-Man by Masterverse. That is a Hordak MX Mundo head that I have installed there, custom head. But yeah, this is looking really good. And so yeah, really cool. And here is He-Man riding atop this big Mythic Legion bear. And then there is our He-Man riding our Revelation actually, Netflix inspired Battle Cat. Can't wait to get that new Battle Cat with greater articulation and a better head sculpt. This is the Revelation Masterverse helmet, but that is a Hordak MX head sculpt with articulated jaw. But yeah, really awesome looking here. And so you can definitely see that they look pretty good together. And Battle Cat is longer, but they sit about the same height. Maybe just a tad taller for Battle Cat, but I do have him standing on rocks. That way his face is up a little bit. You know, hard to get him to look up unless you elevate the front just a tad. And I got him standing on some rocks. And then too, this slopes down a little bit too. So just wanted to compensate so they'd be as level as possible. But yeah, looking cool here. Looking really cool. And you might think, well, this is a Mythic Legions bear, so where's a Mythic Legions figure? Well, here is Atlas riding our big Mythic Legion bear, and he's looking really good. So he fits on him really good too. So cool. Looking good all the way around. So yeah, your Mythic Legions figures, of course, are going to fit up here. And they do look good. And here's our Mythic Legion bear raised up in all of his intimidating glory next to Casus by Iconic Collectibles. Now here is our Marvel Grizzly next to him. You can definitely see. But let's look how intimidating and tall he is next to Casus. And Casus is no small bull. Even though he's 1/18 scale, he's small next to this dude. Thank you so much for joining us for this Super Dave review. It's been fun looking at these bears, and I hope that you had fun looking at them with us. And if you've enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment if you have something to say, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time on another one. Hope you enjoyed this episode 45 of figures, playsets, and accessories that work well with Masterverse and Classics and Chronicles and other figures like Frazetta Girls and Savage Crucibles and of course Mythic Legions and any of your barbarians. But this was fun. See you next time. Here's some photos in the photo gallery. Be blessed.